Welcome to our webinar when we'll introduce you to our AG5 Skills app. My name is Martina. I am the product owner here at AG5, and I work closely with business and development team to bring our AG5 vision into life to help companies manage their skills, the skills for their workforce. And today during this webinar, I will tell you about our app, and together with my colleague Angio, we will show you the key features and the typical use cases that you can apply to your organization. A bit of housekeeping. So the session will take around 40 minutes and it will be followed by a 15 minutes of a Q&A session. Feel free to ask the question at any time in the chat, and we will answer them later on. So share your questions, your comments, your insights, anything, and we will talk about later. Of course, the slides and the recording, because the webinar is being recorded, those will be shared with you after the webinar. So don't worry if you miss anything, you will be able to come back to it. So to get us started, let's do this open poll. So the question is, how does your team track workforce skills and training? You should be able to vote. You should be able to see the answers on your screen. So please vote and we will see what is the most common approach. So do you still use spreadsheets or a software, a desktop version of a software for skill management, a software both desktop and mobile, LMS or HRM system only, or no system at all? Let us know what it is for you, and we should have the answers in a second. Okay, I already have the answers. Thank you for participating in this poll. So the results, based on the results that I see, it looks like we have two leading approaches. So some of you use spreadsheets, 38%, and we also have a group, also 38%, that use a software, but only in a desktop version. And of course, those are great things. Those are good approaches. Although I'm sure that you also notice already that those approaches have their limits. And today during the webinar, we would like to talk about how we can overcome those limits and bridge those gaps and get rid of those headaches related to spreadsheets with our AG5 app. So let's see how can we do this. So yeah, I mentioned eliminating some headaches, but that's not the only thing, of course. There are some key takeaways that you will be able to that you will have after this webinar. So first of all, we will go through the app layout and the app features so that you can feel comfortable when navigating the AG5 Skills app. We'll also show you how, by adding results and completing them with attachments or signatures, you can streamline your documentation, skill documentation processes, and reduce some paperwork. Later on, we'll show you how easy it is to find the employees, the frontline workers in the application, and how easy it is to check their skills and their certifications. We'll also touch on how the app widgets and automations can reduce admin work and therefore save you some time. We'll also show you how you can keep real-time and secure records to maintain audit readiness, right? Audits, this is something that is important in our industries. So being ready for those audits, it's crucial. And in the end, we will show you how our app can empower your employees, especially your frontline workers, by giving them the chance to track their skills with their mobile devices. So those are the things that we will cover today, and we will do this by following this agenda. We will start with the app vision, how it is that we have this app now. We will look into who are the app users, and later on we'll show you some key features, the benefits coming from those features, and some typical use cases that you may apply to your organization, that maybe you already have those use cases in your organizations. Later on, we will give you a sneak peek of a roadmap, so a bit of what you can expect in the future in the application, and we will wrap it all up with a live Q&A. Okay, so this is our agenda. Let's get started. For those of you who don't know AG5 that well, our main mission is to help companies with frontline workers to visualize and close skill gaps. That's our mission. That's the thing we do, and we are doing this by mapping skills and the training requirements, so that we can make sure that the right people with the right skills are assigned at the right time. And by doing this, we are achieving two goals. First of all, the optimal efficiency in the organization, and the 100% compliance. And those things are important, especially in industries like manufacturing, healthcare, aviation, in industries where having a tool that provides a visibility into skill data is really a necessity. And we are not alone in recognizing that this is important. We are proud to work with companies like Air France KLM, Canpack, or Toyota Boshuku, who rely on AG5 on a daily basis, and who rely on us to maintain their compliance and the efficiency. This mission, we transfer this mission into our application, into our mobile application, and how it evolves. So some of you may know that we used to have two applications. Both had their limited functionalities, and to improve the efficiency of our work, of how those apps can be used, we decided to consolidate the features of those two applications and put it all into one powerful app. So that's how the AG5 Skills app was created. So now we eliminated the hassle of juggling two different apps, and we just made it easier to manage the skills data wherever you are. When we were designing this app, when we were thinking about what this app should be, we had one thought in our mind, our vision, and the vision was that we want to help solving the practical skill management issues for frontline workers and from frontline teams in a smart way. And those practical issues and practical solutions that we have, what I mean by that is that, for example, what we do is we ensure that the compliance is there, that all the critical skills and certifications are in place. And by doing this, we want to make sure that you avoid any safety risks or any regulatory fines, for example. What we also do is that by providing centralized access to the data and making the data accessible at any time, we want to make sure that the teams are equipped with the latest information while they need to do some planning, workforce planning, shift planning. Having the access to this data, the latest data, is very critical in those situations. And this is what the apps provide. We also want to help you proactively identify and close skills gaps, and all of this in order to maintain those high standards, that are very important, especially in those fast-paced industries like yours. What is also a part of our vision is to keep the teams, keep the employees ready and fully equipped so that there are no delays. There are no delays that are caused by any verification checks or that some data missing. We want to make sure that all the data is accessible and available and the teams are equipped. So all of this, we have all of this in mind when thinking about our app and thinking about who is going to use this app. Because when we were designing this app, we recognized that there are a few personas, few different roles that may benefit from the app the most. First of all, we have team leaders, right? Team leaders, maybe there are some team leaders here with us today. And we know that the team leaders, their role is to ensure that the right people are assigned at the right time and that those people have the right qualifications. So by giving them the access to our app, we makes it easier for them to find those employees, to check their skills and certifications, to verify them, and update the skills results if needed. So team leaders, they can achieve their goals with our apps, with our application. Later on, we have the frontline workers. So your employees, your frontline employees may also benefit from our app by giving them the access to their data, by letting them view their qualifications, their certifications, by giving them the access to see the upcoming requirements, the trainings, or to see the skills, the certifications that are expiring soon. In this way, we are giving them a bit of empowerment, and also we are encouraging them to proactively think about their careers and think about their trainings. And last but not least, the training coordinators. This is also, the training coordinators may also benefit highly from our applications. Their role, of course, is to keep all the records accurate and in one place, and makes it easier to find, make it easy to find those documents. So with our app, all of this is possible. They can first of all update and add new certificates, new any remarks or signatures. They can do it all in our application, and thanks to this, keep all the records accurate. So of course, those are not the only people that may use our app and may benefit from it. Those are maybe only the ones that can benefit the most. But of course, we have managers, we have mentors, we have auditors, and they can also benefit highly from our application. And I will now give the stage to my colleague Andrew, who will show you how those different personas may use the features of our application. And yeah, Andrew, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Martina. Hi, everyone. My name's Andrew Soderberg, and I'm a CSM, Customer Success Manager here at AG5. And just like the title suggests, if you haven't met me, the job is making sure you're successful with your application of AG5, that you're getting the value that you were looking for out of the software. Go ahead and go to the next slide. So we're going to dig into some of the new features that have landed on our app in the last several months. Some of them are brand new, some of them have shown up somewhat recently, but we've added a lot since we first unveiled this last year. And the first page that you'll see when you go into the app is going to be the home page. Makes sense, of course. And the home page has several widgets on it, which are designed to just quickly take you where you need to go. So the first widget that is new, and we should note that we've had from the beginning a few widgets. So the skills overview, you can kind of make it out there where you can see in green and yellow and in red a graphical representation of what's for the skills that are required for you, uh, what's valid, what is expiring soon, and what is a gap, what's a skills gap. Also, we already had a widget for my results, meaning any results that were added against your employee profile, as well as results that you've added for other people. But now let's go to the new stuff. So this is a big one. So when there are skills gaps in AG5, anyone who has edit access to a matrix, or if you're a super user or an administrator, operationally, a manager, a trainer, a mentor, a coach, you can plan to close a skill gap. It's called creating a planning. And now any planning that is made by any of those folks I just outlined will appear on the homepage of any employee's app. So they'll see immediately, okay, I've got some trainings coming up, and they'll be able to see the deadlines. We also, there will also be a widget that will pop up if there are results expiring soon. So anything that has an expiration date, a validity period. So commonly things like certificates or literal qualifications, but it can even just be trainings that periodically your organization asks employees to redo. As soon as those are about to expire, those will show up here to give advance notice. And this one's also big. So we have an approvals flow in AG5, which can be set up. And the way this works is if a result is added by a team leader or a coach or a manager, and it's important that that result be approved by somebody who has the knowledge and understanding of what a real valid result looks like, then it can go into approval. And a pain point for a number of our customers is that sometimes people don't realize that results were waiting on them for approval, and then you're just kind of in limbo for a while. So now if there's an item waiting on you as a user, if you're an admin or a manager, whatever your role, the app will tell you right there that you've got X amount of items waiting for approval, and will ask you to please log into the web platform to quickly and easily approve those. Now, from the beginning, it was possible to add results from the home page. That's still possible. But what we've also added is the ability to add skill results directly from an employee's profile. So when you find, which is also new, being able to see your employees directly in the app. So if you find an employee and then you find a skill that you need to add a result for, either because it's a gap, it's red, or it's yellow, it's expiring soon, or even if it's valid, but there's a new one, as you can see in the bottom right image there, there's a little button that pops up that says add result. So you don't have to go back to the home page, click add result, find the employee, adding it there. The app will contextually recognize which employee, just saving you a lot of time. And one of the main uses of our app is allowing organizations to go paperless, to take forms that require signatures and to upload those directly to AG5, where you can store them forever for an audit or for any purpose. And we're also going to be, Martina will mention it later, but it's soon going to be possible for multiple signatures in cases where standing operating procedures require that. So that's going to be coming. And then also it's possible to add attachments. So if you need to take a picture of a paper document, we have many customers where they're kind of running digital and paper at the same time just to be safe, or while they're transitioning to a fully digital model. And or sometimes it just makes sense to have a bunch of SOP documents sitting around the workforce. This way, it's easy for team leaders or managers or floor supervisors to take a picture of a completed paper document, so that you're doubly protected if an audit comes. And when you're adding a result, I mentioned earlier that approval flow. So we've decided to make it clear, just like in the web application, that this result that you're adding, as you can see down there, will go into approval flow before it becomes valid. That wasn't entirely clear before, and now we've made it so it's quite obvious that when that action is needed. Also, AG5, we have the ability for you to set up quite complex prerequisite rules. The idea being that you have skill A, and in order to accomplish skill A, there's several sub-skills that need to be done first, right? Skill A1, A2, A3. And those can be automated. So where the top skill A, once those prerequisite skills are completed, it will automatically become valid. Also, we can set it up so it just allows you to add it. The visibility is now complete in the app. So if a skill has prerequisite rules, it will be visible there. The portfolio was a part of the app from the beginning, but we didn't have the ability for you to sort or filter skills, which, if you have a small handful of skills that you're trying to manage, that's not really a problem. But if you have hundreds, then that could be quite a pain point, be scrolling for quite a while. So we've added the ability for you to sort, filter, and search for results. Also, this is another big addition, is previously you could add results for employees, but it wasn't really possible to view other employee profiles, just your own. Now, depending, of course, upon the access level that you have as a manager, as a team leader, you'll be able to view your employees, their gaps, what's required of them, any skill plannings that are coming up, and as we showed at a few slides previous, add results directly for that employee from the shop floor, from the classroom, from wherever. And another one we're very happy about are our self-assessments. And this really feeds into one of the primary uses of the app, which is enabling employee engagement. So self-assessments in AG5, there's a few ways to get results into AG5. One is just add a result with a few clicks or a few taps from the app. But a self-assessment is where a manager asks their employees to assess themselves. How good are you at this thing? Do you have this certificate? And it allows employees to rate themselves, which can be great for a few things, allowing them to submit documentation on their own, and allowing them to give a sense of how they feel about things that are less concrete, such as abstract things like personal skills or organizational abilities. And these will then go to the manager, who will approve or reject these self-assessments. But previously, the point is self-assessments had to be done on the web application. Now we've enabled these self-assessments to be completed anywhere on the go in the app. So why all of this? What do all these features mean? What's the point behind this? So these are the typical, from our perspective and from most of our customers' perspective, the main reason why you're using this app is to save time and to streamline processes. We recognize that it's not always possible for employees to get to a desktop or to a laptop. Sometimes it's not possible to supply employees with that. Maybe it's just not necessary. This way, you're able to delegate tracking of skills to folks who are on the go, who don't have a computer at ready access, and you're able to get documents from individual contributors or from team leaders faster instead of saying, hey, email it to me, and then I'll upload it myself via AG5. So delegation, saving time, automating that document collection. And the other big one, which I already alluded to, was empowering employees, bringing them into this skills management journey. So instead of it just being a top-down discussion where you sit down with your manager at a desktop and they review your skills, and employees could, and we should add that, this is at every company's discretion, whether employees have access to this or not, but you could see exactly where you're at on your skill journey, what is planned for you, what's coming up, what your managers have required for you, perhaps a self-assessment. And again, it makes it so you don't have to provide desktop access to them for them to be engaged with the system in their skills management journey. So yeah, this is simplifying the skills management journey, making it easier for them, your frontline workers, for folks who are really busy getting whatever their job is done, making it easier for them to engage with the system and get feedback, and hopefully driving higher engagement and investment in their role.
Okay, then. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you for sharing those, for showing us the features and showing the typical use cases. And now we will move on to our roadmap. So we are always working to make our application better. And those are the things that you can expect to see in the app in the future. When it comes to what we are working on now, Andrew already mentioned this, we are working on a feature that will allow you to add multiple signatures for a single skill result. So currently what is possible is that you can add an employee signature, but we know that there are other use cases. We know that it's often required that a trainer adds his signature or a manager adds his signature. We want to make it possible, and this is something that we will release soon. Later on, we want to focus on a feature that would allow you to add multiple results at once. What I mean with that is, let's imagine that you have a training and you just train 10 people. So instead of adding 10 single results, we will make it easier for you to add those 10 results, but in a in one action. So we'll be able to select the people that you just trained, select the skill that you just gave a training on, and add those results with one click. Later on, we will also work on a feature allowing you to approve skill actions and self-assessments. So as Andrew showed you, we already have the approval widget and the self-assessment. So you can see whether there are any things that you need to improve, but it's not yet possible to approve them in the app. And that is something that we will work on next. When it comes to the other things, we also plan to work on notifications so that you can be notified whenever there is something new, whenever there's a new result, a new update waiting for you in the application. We'll add those notifications, and later on we'll focus on the offline capabilities so that people in locations that are a bit more remote can also use this app without any issues. So this is what is there in our roadmap, what you can expect to see. And with that, I would like to finish our presentation and open the floor for your questions. So feel free to ask the questions in the chat and we will answer them right away. So let me take a look at the chat. Okay, I see a question about whether it is a paid version, paid application. I'm not sure whether it was answered already or not, but no, the application is not paid. It is a companion application to our system. So if you're already our customers, you can just download the app. You don't have to pay anything extra to use it. I see a question from Julia. Do employees need an individual mail address to get access to the app? Andrew, would you like to answer to this one?
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, we do require that employees have a email address in order to have a user account. It's just not technically possible for us to do it otherwise. Now, AG5 does allow for tracking of employees who don't have an email address, but if you want them to be engaged and submit results and do self-assessments, they will need a user account, and we do need an email address for that. If you provision a user account for them on the web app, it's the same user account for the mobile app. So once they've got an account, they just log in with their email address or with single sign-on if that's enabled for your organization. Good question.
Yeah, thank you. The next question from Alex. What is the timeline for the next and the future upgrades? Unfortunately, it's not that easy for me to answer. We know for sure that those things that we mentioned in the next, those will for sure come in this year. When it comes to the future, well, let's see what the future brings. But we will make sure that everyone is notified and that the expectations are there set. So yeah, that's what I can say at this moment. Okay, then a question from Andreas. I want to search in the catalog and assign a skill to one of our employees. Is this possible? Well, yes, you can now search for the employee, search for an employee in the app, and then select the skill from your catalog from your library and add a result to this person. Although when it comes to assigning a skill, if what you mean is that assigning a requirement, this is not yet possible in the application. But if those requirements were already assigned in the web app, then you will be able to see them in mobile applications. Okay. Let's see. I don't see any other question. I see.
From Egbert, I believe that we will be sending out a recording of this, so it will be viewable later on. And as to your comment about the app looking different in the Play Store, so as Martina said, a couple of the features we presented today were very close to releasing. So like self-assessments won't be in there, but most of it will be the same. If you're a customer and you're confused about it, please just reach out to support at AG5 or your customer success manager, and we'd be happy to help you out.
Yep. Okay. Let's see. Do we have any other question? I see a comment from Andreas that that you want to search the skill and want to see who has this skill and later on assign it to one of your colleagues. So there is you cannot really search for the skill yet and assign it via the application. For now, you would have to do it in the web. But you can do the other way around. You can check, you can search for an employee and then see if the skill is there assigned to this employee. I see there is one more question in the Q&A feature. What is the cost to initiate? Well, if you are not our customers, not our customer yet, then I will share a bit share in a bit what can you do. But if you're already in our customers, then there are no additional costs related to the application. You can just download it, use your existing credentials, and start using the app. Okay, I don't see any other questions. So yeah, let's move on. So yeah, the question was about the costs, and when it comes to how can you start using the app, well, it depends on whether you're already our customers or not, our customer or not. So if you're already using AG5, then it's simple. You can just use those QR codes to download the latest version of the application and just start doing using this. So we encourage you, of course, to download the app and to explore all the features and to see how you can integrate use of this app with your daily workflows. Yeah, the app is available in the App Store and Google Play. So yeah, don't wait. Download the app and let us know what you think of it. However, if you are not our customer yet, if you are new to AG5, we highly encourage you to reach out to us. Our colleague Florian, whose photo you can see on the screen, is there to help you get started with a demo. So you can scan this QR code and you'll be directed to a demo booking page. You'll be able to select a date and the time that suits you best. And Florian will meet with you to tell you a bit more about our system, how you can get started, what benefits the system may bring you. We are looking forward to welcome you to AG5. So don't hesitate, reach out, and I'm sure Florian will also mention the app during his demo. Okay, we come to an end. This is the end of our webinar. We would like to thank you very much for joining our session. And